The following program is made possible in part by the Nancy Eccles and Homer Hayward Family Foundation, the Digital Media Foundation, Yellow Brick Road, and the Arts Council for Monterey County. A big thank you from McCate TV.
Hi, my name's Dylan Holmes, and you're watching McCate TV.
You're watching On the Mission Trail, a student-produced news magazine on McCate TV. And now, On the Mission Trail with your host, Dylan Holmes.
Today we'll look at a dog costume contest in Carmel. Then it's all about planes. We visit the Salinas Airport for the air show. Then Brandon's got some interesting facts about the Carmel Valley Airstrip. After that, we're grounded with RC cars. And wrapping it up, a local student's education soars, being accepted to Harvard. And now about those wagging tails.
Hello, we're here at Carmel Plaza for Max's Halloween dog photo and costume contest. Let's take a look.
Max's Helping Paws Foundation is essentially a financial lifeline for Monterey County pet owners with a pet in a medical crisis. We help offset the costs of necessary treatments, medical treatments. So Max was our dog, actually. And when he passed in 2016, that was a very, very, very difficult time. And we were missing him, and one of the things that people kept telling us after an illness that he had was how lucky we were to have been able to pay for his treatments and to fight the fight, even though, you know, eventually we lost. Ultimately we lost. And so one day my husband came and said, hey, you know what, we've got this opportunity to put a foundation in Max's memory and honor that will help people who weren't necessarily in the same position that we were, to be able to save them, to be able to make their lives better. And so that was all it took. And the next day we just kind of got it started and started giving gifts, awarding gifts in mid-2017. You know, actually a lot of it came from Renee of Say Woof Photography. We had done a holiday photo shoot last year, and she had done something like it in the Midwest and said, you know, this would be a really great idea. This area is all about the dogs, and we thought, you know, what we try to do is do fundraising activities that are also, you know, fundraising, right, that are also enjoyable for the community, so that there's sort of benefit all the way around. And so as soon as I heard that, I thought, God, that would be just a wonderful idea. And I reached out to Carmel Plaza, and they have been an unbelievable partner, as have the store, right, as have the stores in here. And everybody, it does take a village, and then some. And everybody here just really kind of helped us put something together that turned out to be an unbelievable success. So feel very lucky.
When I heard about the event, you know, it's right outside my door. I had to be a part of it. You know, we've had our flyers in the store for a long time, and you know, we've been supporters. So it was great to see it. I was one of the judges. I had a great time. It was a lot of fun.
And also we had, I don't know what, we ended up with 40 or 50 dogs, and what we found is, as it's interesting, what we found with this event as well as our others is that people really jump in. The costumes, they really commit. You know, it's amazing to see. I feel very fortunate.
There was a $200 certificate from Khakis. The grand prize was a $100 gift certificate plus about $50 worth of dog toys from the dog house, and then also a $100 certificate from across the street, Mad Dogs and Englishmen. It's a bike shop, brand new bike shop, who was willing to help out. Yeah. Great.
Sidecar ride.
He gave away a sidecar ride as well. Afterwards, everybody could go over and get a free sidecar ride from 2 to 4. With your dog in the sidecar. Yeah, that was really fun.
Yeah, and several other stores just contributed sort of smaller prizes so that we could actually give more prizes away. And everybody, the community and the vendors in here have been incredibly supportive of what we were doing, and that's what we want to do. We wanted really fun prizes, and yeah, it was wonderful.
Yeah, I mainly set up and clean up and organization, so I'm scared that it's going to be 2 or 3 times as big.
Yeah.
Double or triple.
It's a good problem to have.
It blew us away.
It
blew us away.
Diana was concerned from the get-go that, oh my gosh, we're not going to have enough dogs for the contest. We're going to be standing around. And we had people showing up, didn't know about the contest that had dogs in costume. And we had people coming that, I think the furthest I heard was 120 miles that brought their dogs down, and it's phenomenal. And I think everything we do is going to get bigger so we can help more pets and more people. Oh, I mean, Carmel Plaza was phenomenal partners, and I think we'll just
be here as willing as long
keep
as
doing
they're
it and growing with it and go from there.
And what we hope is that, I mean, more than anything, is we're relatively a new nonprofit in this area. And for us, it's obviously very important. The fun factor is very important, but even more so to walk away with, several hundred people knowing who we are and what we do, who didn't know us before. And that, this was a fundraiser. It was a way, and it was also a way to get people to know that we exist and to care that we exist, I guess. Well, we just have expenses that we have to pay first, right? And then any of the proceeds they go directly to pay for medical care. We don't have a lot of administrative overhead, and we take pride. We're a volunteer, 100% volunteer organization. So the money goes to the pets to the dogs and cats that we help. So we have obviously a website, maxishelpingpaws.org. We are on Instagram, Max is Helping Paws. We are on Facebook, Max is Helping Paws, where you'll see pictures of today. Our website, and we're kind of all over the place, but those are the main places. And just, in just passing, there are a lot of incredible animal welfare nonprofits in this area. And we always say, we have lots of rescues here that put animals in homes, and we try to keep them there. That's sort of the net. And so, yes, if they want, information or donation, or to find out about any future events, that's where you can find us.
Who couldn't love all that? And now, out to the airport with planes.
I'm the driver of the Scarlet Bandit monster truck.
And I'm the driver of Bounty Hunter. How we got started? I got started about 24 years ago, just as a four-wheel drive enthusiast. I grew up in that era where you had street trucks, and every week you kept getting bigger tires. They kept manufacturing them, so we had to keep going out and buying them and go out and test them in the biggest mud hole we possibly could. And about that time, organized mud racing was going on, so I was getting involved in that. And then I got away from it. I was doing all this in high school, and so I got away from all that. Went to college for about 10 years, and then I met back up with some people I used to mud race with, and they got into monster trucks. And I ended up buying one as a hobby. And it wasn't several years later I turned my hobby into a career. How did you get involved?
I actually was in the military for 8 years as an Army medic. Went to a concert one night, met him. He had a monster truck show the same evening. Met him at the concert, kept in contact for about a week over the telephone, decided to go travel with him for a little bit. He was in the process of getting a second truck back, and he had a driver for it who couldn't take the job at the last minute. He asked if he thought I could do it. I did, and have been doing it now for 20 years.
As far as interesting stories, over 24 years, there's so many. We've competed about all but two of the Monster Jam World Finals. We were able to win the World Finals back in 2005 in freestyle. Been to the final round of racing at the World Finals probably 5 or 6 times. Enjoy this business very much. We do about 160 monster truck shows a year between the two teams that I own. I own a Bounty Hunter Scarlet Bandit team, which is here this weekend in Salinas. I also own a Bounty Hunter Iron Outlaw team, which is in Turlock, California this weekend. But Don and I are also, we promote shows. So nowhere on the West Coast, just some on the East Coast, and so we have shows going on that we're not even at. And so we're quite busy. We have a ride truck that gives rides every weekend. So we also have a t-shirt printing company where we print our own t-shirts and sweatshirts for sale at our venues. So we're quite busy in this business.
He forgot to mention, we've also been married for a long, long time. We have 4 children, 3 daughters and a son. So while he's orchestrating all the show stuff, I'm usually keeping them functioning well. A couple of them are in college. We still have a little boy who's 7. So I stay busy at home and then have to come out here and get him straightened out on the weekends.
I will say that the Salinas Air Show is the only air show that we've ever really competed at, and we enjoy it. This is our 3rd time over the years, if my memory doesn't fail me. And catching beautiful weather out here this weekend and just enjoying the heck out of this show. We got a little something planned, a surprise planned on our 2nd run. Hopefully, if we don't break, we get to it, and I think the wow factor will be here.
The thrill of being able to crush cars and run over fun things. It's definitely the fans. I'm the one that gets yelled at all the time for talking too long to people and trying to get drag away from them, but just all these people that come out all these years to watch us perform, and without them, we would not have a job. So definitely a big thank you to fans.
Well, let me clarify that. Wait a minute. She gets yelled at because she never makes it to the autograph session, because she always stops and takes pictures with everybody, and the line forms there where she stops. So that's why she gets yelled at.
But they never forget that I stopped for them. It's a memory they'll hold on to forever.
2 Extreme Racing over and out.
Because I played in the NHL and now analyst with NBC for Sharks pre and post. So a couple months ago, I had the opportunity to submit an application to the air show based on, the desire or maybe the opportunity to fly with the Thunderbirds. And it's pretty difficult. It's kind of a once in a lifetime thing, but I was chosen and got to go up in the air this past Thursday with the Thunderbirds. It was amazing, once in a lifetime opportunity. The Air Force, the Thunderbirds were just first class all the way, and then to come back today and see it as they perform for the air show was just really neat. You can't explain what you experience. It was more of an experience, but then today you saw the preparation and the precision and the professionalism of the team that entertains all throughout the country.
So how long were you, how long did you fly with them?
So Thursday, there was preparation before my flight, obviously a lot of briefings and preparation. And we took flight on Thursday about 3:45, and we were in the air for about an hour. I was able to go through the profile that they do here today. Obviously, just in one single jet, not with the whole team doing the stunts, but with number 7 Miami, and it was an amazing experience and one I'll never forget. They got to do all the heavy lifting, but no, I got the opportunity in the number 7 jet. There's actually room for 2, so most of these are single, but that one's got double capacity, so I was able to go up and ride with them. You know what, I don't know who couldn't like planes after getting around the fighter jets. I just think it's amazing to see what they do. Obviously the energy and the precision used here today more to display that and the professionalism, but ultimately we know it's to keep our freedoms and to fight for the nation in times of war. And we can't forget the service that these men and women do that so often we can forget, because we do live in a free nation, and we're super thankful for every single one of them that are deployed and making it the greatest nation that we can live in. Well, I don't know that I can explain 9Gs. You can experience 9Gs. It was interesting. People were saying, oh, you're going to get sick, you're going to pass out, and I didn't do either, which was great. A lot of pressure, obviously, on your body at 9 times gravity. If you weigh 200 pounds, you're almost up to 2,000 pounds. Everything feels like you're getting compressed, but it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and won't soon forget, just that day for sure.
Hey everyone, Brandon Payson here, and welcome to this little history lesson on the Carmel Valley Airstrip. Byington Ford was a Monterey entrepreneur and real estate developer. He lived in Carmel after his service in World War I. The residents there considered Byington Ford to be the unelected mayor of the, at the time, unnamed village. He was convinced that mass production of small aircrafts would put a plane within the reach of anyone that could afford a car. He developed a tailor-made project for pilot owners who would want to be at home a minute or two after getting out of their planes. His timing was pretty bad though. Mr. Ford held the grand opening of the Airway Ranch on December 7, 1941. And the very next day, President Roosevelt declared war on Japan. Because of this, building materials became scarce, and civilian flights were prohibited along the West Coast. During this war, the airstrip was now used as an alternate landing field for the military airplanes flying out of Watsonville and King City. A clubhouse was built for the air park later, and became an integral part of the village's Blue Sky Lodge. Byington Ford retired a few years later, and the air park was eventually purchased by Peter Delfino. Now Delfino was a man who liked having airports available for the flyers, but oddly enough he didn't own a plane himself. Unfortunately though, local politics and greed conspired against the airport, and it was shut down in 2002. The airfield was also used for many different kinds of local events. For example, there's one event every December called Santa's Fly-In. It's been going on since 1959. In this event, a man dressed up as Santa Claus lands a helicopter, and the children also get to look around the several kinds of floats, vehicles, and horseback riders. As of 2014, no one has bought the airfield yet, so it's still a community park that's used for simple activities like walking your dog or jogging. However, it's also used as a heliport in case of an emergency, and as a staging area for fires in the mountains.
Thanks for that report, Brandon. And now, down on ground level, let's check out these RC cars.
Hey, McKay TV, how you doing? This is Stan McDonald of Low Bucks Racing here in Seaside, California. Here with RC cars of mine, big hobby I've been doing for a lot of years. And just a few of the cars out here, some that I race often, and all that good stuff. There's quite a few different cars and brands you can buy. The sport started back probably in the early 60s. It was pretty much off a string. You put a battery in the car, or usually the gas cars like the airplanes, and they just went around in a circle. Later on, they went to radio control, where it was done with a transformer and receiver put in the cars, and they just got better over the years. These days, the batteries got better and the motors got better.
That's cool.
And as you see, there's different types of cars you can buy. Up front here is a nitro car, which is a gas car. It runs on nitromethane, same thing that the real dragsters run. They run on 20% up to 40% nitro. Next is F1 car. I'm sure everybody's seen those on TV. They're pretty fun. They run on asphalt or carpet. Next is a 12 scale. It's a smaller version. It runs on a 4-pack cell, and they're pretty much on carpet only. Next is a dragster, funny car that I ran a few times. It's retired, hanging on the wall now. And the next one is what we call a TC touring car. This class here that I run, it's called a USGT. They run out at Laguna Seca a lot too. And as you see here, this is my next car that I run often. It's a 10 scale. It's a touring car also that I run in 17.5 class. As you can see, I left the body off so you can pretty much see how it's ran. So you have your battery, your motor, and up front here is what we call the, not a transformer, but it picks up all our laps, our speeds, and it goes to a computer. And it picks up everything that we do on the track. Also, if you come to a race or something, they also have a screen like you see on TV. You can watch your friends or your son or whatever and see how they're doing during the race. And over on this side here is the oval section. As you can see, we have a smaller version. It's a 12 scale. It runs on mostly carpet. Next is a 10 scale oval car. It's pretty fast. I run that in mod or stock class. And as you see on TV, the same thing is on the radio control version. This is a NAS truck. It runs pretty good too. I run that in stock class a lot. Next we have sprint cars, and everybody knows what sprint cars are. They run them in Watsonville, California a lot. And also they have a smaller version too of a sprint car. And as you see, I like cars.
Let me ask you this, the kids are going to want to know how much does it cost to get started in the sport?
Okay, basic charge is anywhere from $150 up to priceless. Well, I wouldn't say priceless, but you can spend some money on it, on what you want. You want to go faster, it costs you more money. And ready to run cars basically is around $200. And if you want a better car like this here, the kit by itself, no wheels, no motor, no speed control, just a rolling chassis, was $450. And after that, you have to get a battery, you have to get a speed control, you have to get a motor and tires. So that'll add probably another $300 right there. So,
just like a real car.
Just like a real car. You know, the better it is, you want to drive a Volkswagen or you want to drive a Ferrari. It depends on your pocketbook. Well, I got a sprint car here. I got it ready. I'm going to run. I have a little practice track out here. I put it in because when my grandkids came, they would always want to run out in the street. So I put a track in my yard, which I can use for practice for my oval cars. And so I have a sprint car here. I'm going to run on the track and show you a few hot laps. Okay, this is my little short track oval here. I call it Mac Bristol. This is my control that controls the car. This is my sprint car, as you can see. I'm going to turn it on to the side here, make sure it's running, and it's ready to go.
How fun is that? And now, an interview with a local student.
Well, my day depends on my schedule. I have class, or I had class every day, both semesters with my 4 classes. The maximum is 5, I think, that can be taken. But for first year, it's the typical load is 4 classes, just so we can get adjusted to, well, being on our own in college and planning, studying, and just, I guess. Freshman year, we have the freshman dorms. I was in Matthews, which was my top choice, although we're not supposed to lean towards any dorm because they're all given by chance. And I had 2 roommates this year, and now that I'm a rising sophomore, I'll be living in the house that I was placed into with my blocking group. So the way housing works at Harvard is you have your blocking group that you choose freshman year, and it can be a maximum of up to 8 people. And how do I say it? I wanted basically a house that was, well, can we like skip this?
Yeah, we'll skip that.
Okay.
Tell us, how was it making the transition from that high school life to university life in the best university in the world? How was that making that change from high school to college?
I think the biggest change was I felt there was less structure with everything. So the only, so the schedule was the basic layout for my, how I spent my time, but other than that, I would be the one who had to schedule everything else and choose where, what time I eat or what time I study and everything else.
Reel that in. We'll edit that out. Okay, you got it?
Yes. Also, going back to Fort Summer House, it's the one I have this shirt. So for the next 3 years, I'll be living in Fort Summer House with my blockmates, and I'm happy with the house I got because it was my top choice. But for those people who don't like their house, which is pretty rare, they can opt to move out.
Wow, what a dream come true. Who doesn't love a success story? Well, that's it for today. See you next week.
The preceding program was made possible in part by the Nancy Eccles and Homer Hayward Family Foundation, the Digital Media Foundation, Yellow Brick Road, and the Arts Council for Monterey County. A big thank you from McCate TV.